Hey guys, kind of low on storage space on the phone, so I just decided I would do this video live rather than trying to rush through everything just to get it in before uh, it runs out of storage space. So anybody shows up, I'll chat a little bit, but mostly just going to kind of run through some of the latest pickups. Hope everybody's doing well. Got one here for the Husker PC, and yeah, there we go, focused. And this is Roy Helu Jr. Was a former Husker running back, had short stint there in the NFL, but a guy I didn't have. Hey there, Tux Cards. Hope you're doing good. So there was the one Husker PC pickup. And I also had a contest winning. I won a contest put on by G's Mikey just recently, and he was giving away this awesome Duke Snyder autograph. And I do appreciate that. If you're not subscribed to G's Mikey, check him out. He's got some cool stuff that he collects, some great vintage stuff, putting together a 1952 binder set. And here I did not have a Duke Snyder autograph, so this was a very cool thing to add to the collection, something I'm really happy to receive. So thank you again, Mike. And a couple of slab pickups here. Yeah, the air looking really rough right now, and I tell you what, I'm pretty disappointed with things right now. It's losing that 2 touchdown lead in the fourth quarter last week was pretty gut wrenching. It's like, hey, if you're gonna have a historic first 0-6 start in school history, I guess that's the way to do it, huh? But yeah, that's no, I can't talk about that too much more. That's just too painful. So, all right, I got a couple dog fans. LSU. Okay. So Georgia then, Tux. Yeah, Gaylord Perry here, PSA 10. And this is Reggie Jackson. I hate this card design because it looks like it's miscut crazy, but that's actually the way it was designed. And another 83 Fleer. Neither one of those are pricey cards by any means, but picking up PSA 10s of Hall of Famers, it's just can't go wrong with that, especially when it's only a few bucks. It's like we managed to win one bowl game against the Georgia Bulldogs here, not too far back. Played them a couple of different times, managed to get the one. And see here. So these are from the 1950 Callahan set that I've been working on. I've got, if you don't count the variations, I'm close to about half. But then you add in all the variations to it, and I'm only about. Here is Fred Clark. And then this here is Herb Pennock. And one here of first commissioner of baseball, Kennesaw Mountain Landis. A John McGraw. This one was only a PSA 5, but I didn't have a graded one. And the one I have, it might get a 6, but I was like, I'd rather just spend a couple of bucks and have one and add it to the registry than taking all the trouble to try and get get one graded myself for it. So that one, and then I picked up one for the 1961 Fleer set. This one here is Bing Miller, and it's like one of the players in the set that is not a Hall of Famer. There's good portion of the 61 set is Hall of Famers, but maybe a little less than half of them aren't. But they were all kind of star guys, even the ones that aren't in the Hall of Fame. Then I got some more rare stuff that I'll show you here now. I've got this one right here. This is a 1962 Venezuela Topps, and like you see from the grade here, pretty rough condition. Got some kind of like a pink, yellowish print mark or something on there. And now, so back in the late 50s and then in the early 60s, Topps started letting this company that was in Venezuela, where baseball was pretty popular there, and they let them create a version of the Topps cards where they would only do like about the first not quite 200 cards of the set each, and it wouldn't even be every year. It would be like every other year. They would print part of the set and then distribute them there in Venezuela. And the cards, for the most part, are pretty similar looking if you come across them, back in Spanish. You can kind of see that there. So everything except for the stats box is all in Spanish. So I didn't have any of these, and normally I try to get Hall of Famers for my type collection, but Bob Cerv is a former Nebraska Cornhusker, so certainly decided, well, if I was going to get a non-Hall of Famer, he's one of the guys I want to get. And he was the first Nebraska Cornhusker to appear in an all-star game. And then this one right here is from 1933. This is a Tattoo Orbit. R308 is the catalog designation. This is of Hall of Fame pitcher Ted Lyons, one of the best pitchers in White Sox history. Now these were, kind of an interesting set. There was another set that Tattoo Orbit Gum did in 33 that are a lot more popular. They were kind of your traditional gum cards. They look kind of similar to maybe Diamond Stars, or not, a little different than the Gowdy sets. But this one was different in that it was like a kind of like an instant photograph is what they would call it. And you bought the pack, and the pack had this one decal in it, and you had to peel off this the front layer, and you wouldn't know who you would get. It would be a blank piece of paper, but then you would dip it in water, and then the photo would develop, and you could see who you received. But then you had to dry it and, keep it protected, so that it could dry and not smear the photo or anything, or cause, the wet paper to get destroyed. And then you would have, your collectible at that point. So, it doesn't seem like a lot of these survived. There aren't a whole lot of them. If you do like a search for that R308 on eBay, you can find some for sale, like on Buy It Nows. You don't see them come up for auction very often, but I did see a group of them come up in an auction here recently. And as rare as they are, they don't bring a whole lot of money, because none of them are in real good shape. You've got kind of staining here, some smearing here where it doesn't look like the photo developed quite right. And this is actually, it as far as the photo itself, this is a pretty good example. There's a lot of them that are worse than this one. So, and of course, you know, a lot of staining on the back as well. So, getting any of these that aren't in poor condition is pretty rare. Now, this one right here, this Ted Lyons, between PSA and SGC, there have been 5 of them total that have been graded. So it's possible, you know, maybe there's a few of these. You know, obviously, there's probably more than 5 out there that are ungraded, but to say that, hey, there's maybe 2 dozen, I would say that's pretty optimistic. There's so I mean this is a card that there aren't that many out there of, and you know I was able to pick it up for, you know, it was less than $40. It was probably about 30 some dollars when with shipping uh included in the auction price. So really happy to add that. It was something I didn't have at all. And then another pretty rare item that I came across here on eBay, just doing some random searching. I saw this one and I was like, I don't recognize this photo. So I started looking at it, and when I saw the way it was advertised, I had a feeling I knew what it might be. And I believe it is a 1930s, probably 33, 34 era Wheaties Premium, which you would have sent in your box tops or something from Wheaties to redeem these. Now, there's not a lot of information about these. They're pretty rare, and this is like the first one that I've seen come up for auction. I've been looking for an example of one for about 2 years, and I just happened to find it. I'm pretty sure this one has been trimmed. If you kind of look here, you know, these side borders, the thickness on those compared to the border on the top and on the bottom, you can see where both of them are thin like that. It makes me think that it was trimmed at least on one side and probably on both. So unfortunately, you know, that certainly cuts into the value of it, but you know, it's still, like I said, this is pretty rare card. Hall of Famer Earl Averill. So I'm gonna have to look and see if I can get that slabbed. I don't know that I can, because it's an uncatalogued set, and where it's trimmed on both sides, I don't know. I don't know if they'll do it, but I'm gonna look into it because I just want to keep that protected because it is really extremely rare. I did a video on wide pins and fine pins. It was like a 2-part series, and the part dealing with the fine pins touched on these Wheaties Premiums, and it's definitely you know, a video I recommend check out if you're interested in that kind of thing. So okay, I've gone for quite a long time here. I appreciate those of you that stopped in to have a look, and hopefully some of you will catch this here after it's uploaded. So hope you enjoyed the pickups, and I will talk to you all again soon. Take care.